Michael Bennett is one of my favorite heroes so far. He's got 10 kids, which definitely brings a certain amount of craziness into his life. And his wife was really the one responsible for adopting all these kids who are all sorts of ages and hues and whatever. And then she dies, so Michael's a single father with all of these kids, and he gets into these terrible police dramas. And Run for Your Life involves a spree killer. This guy's on the loose in New York, and he's a really interesting bad guy because there are several chapters from his point of view, and he really has a grudge on his shoulder. And he's quite bright, and he's a really good chef. I mean, he's got these sort of things that shouldn't go together. And Michael's, got the 10 kids and the nanny from Ireland who is kind of starting to like Mike, and he's starting to like her, so that's getting complicated. It's a good story, and one of the interesting things now is we have a TV series working with Michael Bennett. It won't be on until next year. We got together with the showrunner from CSI originally, and then Bones, and he's just real smart. And so I think it's going to be a great show called Crew, C-R-U, with Michael Bennett as the star. I always have hopes to make them all long-running series, although God knows how many series can I have out there after a while. But the third Michael Bennett novel is done, so we have 3. I think 2 and 3, Run for Your Life, and the next one, which we haven't decided on the title, are even better than Step on a Crack, which I liked. When I start these books, you always hope that they're going to be everything you want them to be, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Run for Your Life turned out as well or better than I hoped it would. I think that with respect to the Michael Bennett novels, it had to do with this notion of single father of 10 kids in a very tense job, which seemed to me to be like sort of the acid test for what most of us go through. We have a family or we have responsibilities, and then we have this job which wants us 24/7. And how do you somehow manage to make sense of that and balance it? And that's what Michael Bennett does every day. And I think most of us can really identify with that and go like, Jesus, how does this guy get through his day? Gustav Romanowski was a name that we were thinking of, but I don't like those sort of Russian-sounding names because, in the Russian novels, you never keep people straight, and that's always one of the problems. You read Crime and Punishment, you go, who was that guy? And, No, I don't remember how the name came about. I like the name Michael. It's a nice name, Michael Bennett. Yeah, better than James Patterson. I would choose Michael Bennett over James Patterson as a name. So maybe that's how I'll call myself. So if you happen to see books from Michael Bennett, you know that I changed my name. This is a weird story. I had Christian brothers in high school, and we actually invited this brother back for our reunion one year, which is kind of amazing to think about. We had this guy for math and science. Every class, he would come in, and he would say, who doesn't have their homework? And whoever didn't would stand up, and he'd walk up and he'd go, Mr. Patterson, do you know what's going to happen now? Yes, brother. Do you know why? Yes, brother. Boom! Whack you. Go to the next kid, same thing. Every single class, all year. And we had math in the morning, so that's when people would get whacked. By afternoon, for science, everybody would have their homework done because they do it during lunchtime, So I suppose that brother would qualify as a terror, although we kind of liked him, which is kind of bizarre.